Good morning and welcome to Monday Matins for Monday, September 21st. Some days ago, my friend Kara Markell, who is the pastor of Lake Washington Christian Church, reminded us that the ashes in the air are lives, trees, animals, family, homes, each one life. Part of her post included this poem from Pádraig o Tuama called Counting Lost Lives. When I was a child, I learned to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But these days I've been counting lives, so I count one life, one life, one life, one life, one life, because each time is the first time that life has been taken. We only have to look out our windows to see the smoke in the skies, and it's often hard to see beyond all that, to see the other side, not only to see our way to clear skies, but to see a world of peace and justice, to see the hope and beauty of life. With each breath of this smoke that we take, speaking of having difficulties with smoke, we are breathing in life and death. We must breathe to maintain life, yet we recognize that each particle of smoke that enters our lungs takes a toll on our own health. I drove across the state yesterday. I'm recording this on Friday. And as we looked out at the smoke, I had to agree with all those who are saying that it has an apocalyptic feel to it. I kept the air in my car on recirculate to be smart. As my husband reminds me, we have to keep it on recirculate. And I still had to use my inhaler just to be able to get a good, full breath. During my drive, I had a lot of time to think about life and death and smoke and breathing, as I'm sure many of you are doing, because in the midst of all this loss, it's important for us to honor the dead, to honor the grieving. Especially now, we have to honor our heroes who work to spare others. It's important for us to come together, to comfort those who mourn, to help rebuild so much of what has been lost, so that all those who remain might once again find hope, community, and a future filled with God's grace. This next poem comes from a friend of ours from our seminary days, Cricket Harrison, a retired disciples pastor and professor. You'll see her name in our chalice hymnal on a few of our hymns, although I think she's listed as Ola Harrison, which is her real name. She wrote this earlier this month. Burning, the skies glow orange to the west, land consumed by flames, houses ruined, lives destroyed, displaced, scorched, parched, blistered, burning, heaters ignited earlier in the season, weather patterns erratic, changing sun to snow, the winds not ceasing to blow, sudden, cold, surprising, burning. Rage in the streets continues, centuries oppression exposed, buildings, stores, and homes in ashes, not from wildfires, but fire wild with hate, mistrust, animosity. Let us not forget the bullets, rubber and lead, the gas canisters, even the paintballs fired, lest peaceful protest erupt in riots. Let us not forget the lives snuffed out under the weight of callous cruelty. Burning, flaming tongues assault our ears, not the Spirit's Pentecost visitation, nor even the coals of fire heaped on our enemies' heads as we feed them, but the harshest vitriolic rhetoric one side can muster to spit to spite the other side. Would that sacred silence our tintinnabulating ears, but the chimes of churches cannot be heard. Holy fire who beckoned Moses to step aside, to ponder a tree burning but not consumed, fix our gaze so we can see you working to heal our planet, our peoples, our reconciling relationships, warm our hearts, as strange as it may be for us to learn how cold we truly are. Make swift our feet so we can carry your good news to all people. Loosen our tongues so we speak your message of love, justice, and hope that in our very, very depths is even now burning. As we come to a close today, let us breathe in and out a few times. As you breathe, give God thanks for this gift of breath, this gift of life, which is so precious and often so fragile and fleeting. Give thanks for those which have lost, those whose lives have been lost. And even as we grieve over the tragic, horrific loss, which is just too great for us to bear, let's ask God's Spirit to breathe into us, to buoy us up, to bear the enormous grief which has entered our lives, our souls, this sorrow that threatens to tear our hearts to bits and seems to threaten our ability to function. Breathe, Spirit, breathe. Breathe your presence into us and around us that we might find your strength and your peace. Breathe, each one of you, breathe, and may you walk in that peace. Amen.